Hello everyone, this is Dr. Karuna, Assistant Professor in Zoology from Gurukula Army College, Bongir. Today we are going to learn about the fishes and amphibians. Specifically in this class we are going to learn about the fishes, their general characters, classification, and also we will see what are the cartilaginous fishes and bony fishes and their comparison. General characters and classification of the fishes. As we all know, we are very much interested in knowing about fishes. Fishes initially they come from the chordates. Let us see the classification of chordata initially so that we can understand how the fishes has come. Phylum Chordata again divided into two groups, that is Craniata and Acraniata. Craniata again divided into subphylum Vertebrata. Vertebrata has mainly two divisions, they are Agnatha and Gnathostomata. Agnatha are jawless fishes and Gnathostomata are jawed ones. Here again division Gnathostomata divided into two superclasses, they are fishes and superclass Tetrapoda. The superclass fishes again divided into three classes, they are Placodermi, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes are nothing but the elasmobranch fishes. They are also called as cartilaginous fishes because they do not have bone. And coming to the Osteichthyes, they are also called as bony fishes because the skeleton, that is especially endoskeleton, is made up of bone. So, they are called as Osteichthyes. Oste means bone. Here little elaboration of the superclass fishes. Fishes again, as we have discussed in the previous slide, the class Placodermi, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, these are the three fishes classes, and in this again class Placodermi. Placodermi has two orders, they are Arthrodioformes and Antiarchiformes. Again the class Chondrichthyes, it has two subclasses, that is Selaci and Bradionti, and again this Selaci again divided into two orders, Pleurotremata and Hypotremata. And coming to the subclass Bradionti, it is divided into order Eubradicodonti and Holocephali. And coming to the Osteichthyes, that is the bony fishes, it is divided into two subclasses, that is Actinopterygii and Crossopterygii. The Actinopterygii again has three superorders, they are Chondriostei, Holiostei and Teleostei. The Chondriostei again has two orders, that is Polypteriformes and order Acipenseriformes. And coming to the superorder Holiostei has two orders, they are Emiliformes and Lepidosteriformes. And coming to the other order is Teleostei. And now let us move into the subclass Crossopterygii, the specific subclass where we learn more things, new things regarding the lungfishes and all things. Here we have two orders, that is Rhipidistia and Dipnoi fishes. Dipnoi fishes are also called as lungfishes. Now let us see what are the fishes. Fishes are nothing but these are the earliest vertebrates. These are the first formed vertebrates. So if you see the earlier classes, you might have learned about the non-vertebrates, that is we can say the organisms which does not have the vertebrata. Vertebrata means the fishes which have the vertebral column are called as, the organisms which have vertebral column are called as vertebrates. And in these vertebrates, the first coming organism, whatever the vertebrates, the first coming organisms will be the fishes. Fishes are the earliest vertebrates and are perfectly adapted for life in water. So, if we see most of the invertebrates, they are all living in the, almost all 90% will be living in the waters only. Very rarely they will be living in the moist soils. And next level, as an adaptation or as an evolutionary sequence, next comes the fishes. Fishes are also living mostly in the water only. If we see the lungfishes, there is a special characters where the fishes, these fishes can live both in the water and also on the land, not in the dry lands, but they can adapt to live in the burrows by forming the burrows in the moist soil where the water is scarce. So, now let us see what are the fishes. Fishes are the earliest vertebrates and are perfectly adapted for life in the water. They belong to the superclass fishes and belong to the animal kingdom. These are aquatic, that means they live in the water, and cold-blooded vertebrates. Body is streamlined and covered with scales. The scales can be considered as the exoskeleton, and they breathe through the organelles called as gills. And we have the fishes have fins. These fins are the specific organs which help in swimming, balance and movement. Examples of the fishes are rohu, shark, tuna, goldfish, salmon. Like this we can name many fishes. What is the importance of fishes? We all know, most of us have eaten fish. So, this is the tastiest and healthy food, one of the sources of proteins, vitamins, that too abundant amount of vitamin A and D can be present in the fish meat, and also omega 3 fatty acids are the main important nutrients which are needed for the nerve health. These are also present in the fishes. And coming to the economic importance, one side they provide the income, at the same time they also provide the employability and also support the economy of the country even through the process of fishing and aquaculture. And coming to the medicinal values of the fishes, as we all know, fish has a good amount of nutrients, and also these are less fat containing foods which are healthiest and can be consumed by anyone, which will give only the needed nutrients instead of muscle and fat. So, these are advisable. Some of the fish products, fish liver oil, cod liver oil, all these come under the fish products which are having medicinal values. So, these are also used in medicinal purposes. And coming to the ecological balance, the fishes help in maintaining the ecological balance in aquatic ecosystems. The specifically we all know, if we see as an example of the ocean or a sea, we can find different kinds of fishes. There will be larger fishes, whales will be there, sharks will be there, small fishes will be there, very small insects will be there. All these things or these organisms will be residing at one place, that is in the water, that is aquatic ecosystem, that is nothing but the ocean or any water body. So, here we all know how they depend on one another in the aquatic food chain, how they depend and how they eat, means for food and nutrition, in different trophic levels, how they depend on one another and how the ecological balance is being maintained in the aquatic ecosystem, we all know. So, in that way fishes are also helping, they are becoming the food to other organisms which are present in the water. And coming to the scientific research and educational use, these nowadays the fishes, specifically there is a species of fish called as zebra fish, that is being used in the research even for preparation of different kinds of medicines and also vaccination. They are being used in the trails. And now let us see the general characters of the fishes. As we have discussed, fishes are aquatic cold-blooded vertebrates, and they have special organelles which help in respiration. They are nothing but the gills, and these gills are lined by pharyngeal gill slits. Paired fins are present on the lateral sides of the fish. They serve as appendages which help in locomotion and also other processes. Paired nostrils are present, and these nostrils do not open into the pharynx. Next is the integument. Integument is nothing but it is the skin of the fish. These possess dermal scales. There are different kinds of scales which can be of different shapes based on the shapes and nature of that fish, and properties like how they reside, what place they are staying, or based on all those things. The dermal scales are of different kinds like placoid, ganoid, ctenoid, cycloid. In this way, different kinds of dermal scales are present in the skin of the fish. Brain is completely surrounded by cranium. Cranium is nothing but the skull. It is a box like structure, and vertebrae are more or less replaced by the notochord. These fishes have a special kind of system called as lateral line system. This is very well developed in the fishes and they act like the sense organs. They help in detecting the vibrations. Vibrations means while they are moving from one place to another place, the fishes need the direction, means they need to know what is coming in front. So, based on the vibrations of that water tides or the water movement, water currents, these fishes lateral line system will help them to move in a particular direction by sensing the water vibrations. And auditory function, coming to the auditory function, they do not have any tympanic cavity or ear ossicles, but they possess 3 semicircular canals, and also they have 10 pairs of cranial nerves. Internal anatomy. Coming to the alimentary canal, as we all know, alimentary canal is nothing but the digestive tract. It is specialized with a definite stomach and well defined pancreas is present. Other glands are also involved in the alimentary canal for the digestion of the food. Excretion. Kidney is a persistent kidney is present. The excretion occurs to the kidneys and the kidney is persistent, that means permanent kidney. They are which kind, means they are mesonephrons. Coming to the circulatory system of this fish, the heart is typically a specialized heart with 2 chambers, that is one auricle and one ventricle. It also possesses venous blood, mixed blood is present in the fishes, and the circulation is single circulation, that means only once the blood will be passing through the heart. Reproduction and development. As we all know, sexes of the fishes are separate. They occur in separate males and separate females. The gonads are typically paired and the fertilization is mostly external and rarely internal fertilization occurs. In the most of the cases, the development is direct. That means there is no metamorphosis means different levels of larval forms are absent. The egg will be directly through some divisions will develop into the new one. No embryonic membranes are present, that means amniotic membranes are absent. So, these are called as anamniotes. The superclass fishes, if we go in deep into the classification, it is classified into 3 classes. They are Placodermi, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Placodermi. Placodermi has the special fishes which are extinct. These are armed fishes, that means they are not present in the present days. And Chondrichthyes can also be called as elasmobranchial fishes or cartilage fishes because their body is made up of cartilage. Cartilage in the sense they does not have bone is absent. And Osteichthyes, the word ostei itself means that it is ostei means bone. In the before sentence, that is chondrichthyes. Chondri means cartilage, ostei means bone. So, chondri will be or cartilage will be smooth and bony, that is ostei will be hard. The Osteichthyes fishes will be bony fishes, their endoskeleton will be hard. Here little more expansion of the classification as we are discussing from the previous slides. Classes Placodermi, Chondrichthyes or elasmobranchia and Osteichthyes or teleostei. These teleostei are bony fishes, they are again further divided, and now as we are going to in detail study of cartilaginous and Osteichthyes fishes. We have in the case of cartilage fishes, we have subclasses Silaci, Cardiosilaci, Pleurocanthodyri, next Protosilaci, Eusilaci. All these are the different orders which are present in the cartilaginous fishes. And coming to the orders of the bony fishes, we shall see. It has the order Chondriostei. Chondriostei, they existed during the Jurassic period and up to the recent times, and superorder Holiostei, they existed in the Triassic period and up to the recent times, and superorder Teleostei existed during Jurassic period and up to the recent times. The examples are given or also mentioned here, you can see. And coming to the Crossiopterygii, you have the mainly 2 orders, they are Rhipidistia and Dipnoi fishes. Rhipidistia has 2 suborders, they are this Osteolepidodonti and Coelocanthidae. This order Dipnoi has different species, or we can say different, mainly 3 genera of fishes are there. They are Neoceratodus, Protopterus and Lepidosiren. The class Placodermi. This is the earliest jawed vertebrates. Now they are not existing. These possess heavy defensive armor, that means a covering of bony plates. Hyoid arch remained unmodified and did not support the jaws. Examples are Acanthodis and Climatius. Coming to the class Chondrichthyes, it is also called as elasmobranchiae or cartilaginous fishes. This includes the members living sharks, rays and chimeras. Skeleton is entirely cartilaginous. Here if we mention the skeleton, it is regarding the endoskeleton, that means internal skeleton. Habit is that they live in marine and they are voracious carnivores. Chondrichthyes, they possess the minute scales, and especially the type of the scales present are placoid scales, and tail is usually heterocercal. Digestive system possesses a special organelle or a structure called as a spiral valve, and it is present in the intestine. It helps in increasing the rate of absorption. And reproduction, in the case of reproduction, males possess the claspers on the pelvic fins which help in copulation. And subclass in the Chondrichthyes, they have the subclasses Selachi. Selachi, it includes living and extinct sharks and rays. The features are that they possess several rows of sharp teeth. Operculum is absent, that means the covering of the gill slits is called as operculum. It helps in just covering the gill slits so that gills are not visible, but here in the case of Selachi, the operculum is absent. So, gills are visible. Order, other orders, it has orders Cladoselachi, Pleuroconthidae, Protoselachi and Euselachi. Coming to the detailed study of the order Cladoselachi, it has strap-toothed predators existed from Devonian to Permian, and the body is fusiform, means pointed on the both ends, and tail is heterocercal, that is a unequal tail. Next, the body was supported by a large constricted notochord. Paired nostrils and eyes are protected by denticles, for example, Cladoselachi. Order Pleurocanthidae. The freshwater, these are the freshwater pionids. These are extinct forms. They existed in the prehistoric times. The freshwater shark-like fishes appeared during the late Devonian period, flourished during the Carboniferous and early Permian period. Prominent or a special feature is that the spine behind the head and epicercal tear is present. It is not seen in the present day fishes. Example is Xenacanthus. In this picture you can see the spine, how it is specifically visible. Order Protoselachi. Order Protoselachi, it is found during these fishes were found during the late Paleozoic and Mesozoic ages. The pectoral fins, notochord are their posterior margins. These two are present and they help in locomotion, that means little advancement in the locomotion. Sexual dimorphism is seen, that is males and females are separate. Males possess claspers on the pelvic fins for internal fertilization. Examples are Heterodontus. They are also called as bullhead shark because the head of this shark, it looks like a bullhead, so it is also called as bullhead shark. Order Euselachi. These includes the sharks and rays. Suborders Pleurotrimata and Hypotrimata are the suborders in Euselachi. Pleurotrimata, it includes sharks, and particularly in the sharks, gill slits are present. They are on the lateral sides. And Hypotrimata, here rays are present and the gill slits in these are on the ventral sides. The body is dorso-ventrally flattened. In this picture you can see the difference between the shark and the ray. This is very flat, it is also called as electric ray. Here the examples, Scoliodon is a shark and torpedo ray, that is electric fish. This is torpedo is also called as a electric fish. Subclass Prodeonti. This is uniquely represented in the modern era only by a chimera and its close relatives. Possess specialized dentition, consists of slow growing permanent plates. Two distinct orders are present, that is a primitive extinct Eubradionte and the surviving holocephali are the two distinct orders which are present in the Bradionte. These fish exhibit a holostylic jaw suspension. This is a specific character. And coming to the order Eubradionte, these are more primitive. After a period of successful expansion, they disappeared at about the end of the Paleozoic era. Extinct forms are known chiefly from their dentition. The principal teeth function as flattened crushing plates, ideal for a diet hard shelled mollusks and crustaceans. The examples of these Eubradionte are Helodus. Order Holocephali. Here in this order operculum is present, that means the gill slits are or gill clefts are covered with a covering or plate like structure called as operculum. And the scales are absent in adults. Tail is slender and whip like. You can find that in this picture. The tail is very slender, it looks like a whip. Example is chimera, it is also called as ratfish. Class Osteichthyes. Osteichthyes are also called as bony fishes because their endoskeleton, that is internal skeleton, is made up of bone. Here in this picture you can find the skeleton, that is the vertebral column is there, and besides other bone branches are there. The majority of these Osteichthyes fishes are living fishes. As we have discussed in the Chondrichthyes and Placodermes, some of the fishes became extinct, but in the case of Osteichthyes, majority are living forms. The skeleton is made up of bone. The gills are covered with the operculum and usually possess a swim bladder for buoyancy. Swim bladder for buoyancy, that means swim bladder is also called as air bladder. Here you can find that air bladder. This is filled with air and it helps in swimming. When it is moving in the water, it helps in to flow on the to flow against the water currents. So, this helps in buoyancy, that means balancing. We have in this again Osteichthyes has two subclasses. Subclass 1 is Actinopterygii. It is also called as ray finned fishes. Fins are supported by flexible dermal rays rather than fleshy lobes. Internal nostrils are absent. Examples are Accipenser. Accipenser is also called as sturgeon. In this picture you can find that. And Exocetus is a flying fish. In this picture, this also you can find, these are the fishes which can fly. And Hippocampus is a sea horse because it looks like a horse, but is a fish, it is present in the water. Subclass Crossopterygii. These are called as lobe fin fishes. The fins are paired fins with a scale covered lobe. The nares or internal nares are present and the tail is dippy circle tail, and the examples are Latimeria belongs to it is also called as coelacanth fish, and the lung fishes nothing but the dipnoi fishes. Coming to the detailed study of the Latimeria, the living fossil, it was discovered in 1938 off the coast of South Africa, and the body of this fish is covered with a cosmoid scale, a special character. Air bladder is small and hydrostatic. The spiral valve is present in the intestine. As we have discussed earlier, the spiral valve is the folding of the intestine and it helps, it is also called as the scroll valve. It helps in increasing the rate of surface area absorption. Surface area of the intestine will be increased so that the level of absorption will be increased. This is a picture which is showing the Latimeria fish. It is called as living fossil because it existed since a long time and it looks like a fossil because its age is very high. Coming to the dipnoi fishes, are nothing but the lung fishes. These are the living genera. There are mainly 3 living genera. They exhibit discontinuous distribution. Discontinuous distribution means they are present distributed whole over the world, not particularly restricted to a particular area, but they are dispersed in different areas. For example, here we can see there are mainly 3 lung fishes. They are Neoceratodus, Protopterus and Lepidosiren. Neoceratodus, it is the Australian lungfish, it is present in the Australia, and Protopterus, it is called as African lungfish, and Lepidosiren is found in South America. So, these are the 3 different areas where these 3 different fishes are found. So, this is called as discontinuous distribution. And coming to the special feature is that air bladder or swim bladder of these diploid fishes functions as a lung. So, in general fishes can breathe through the gills and they can live only in the water, but in the case of diploid fishes and lungfishes, even though there is scarcity of water or the area is drying, then the diploid fishes, especially lungfishes, that too specifically Protopterus and Lepidosiren, they can exist even in the dry areas by forming the burrows in the moist areas. They will reside inside and they will try to reduce their rate of metabolism and they will try to exist for about 2 to 3 years of time until the water again they will find the water. So, this condition or this process of making burrows, forming the cocoons and residing inside, reducing the metabolism, all these things is called as aestivation. In other words, is also called as summer sleep. Now, comparison of the cartilaginous and bony fishes. Cartilaginous and bony fishes, as I am discussing since the first slide, the cartilaginous fishes are nothing but they belong to the class Chondrichthyes, and Osteichthyes are the bony fishes. Chondrichthyes or cartilaginous fishes, these are also called as elasmobranchi. Here let us see the differences between the Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. The Chondrichthyes, these are exclusively marine, they include sharks and rays. In this picture you can find the difference between the sharks and the regular fishes. The shark will be pointed, the mouth will be ventral side, and the eyes will be laterally placed, but the nearer to the snout. A snout is also present. But in the case of Osteichthyes or bony fishes, this is a routine normal regular fishes. This mostly marine and fresh water fishes are present. Here these are exclusively marine, that means they are present only in the salt water. But in the case of Osteichthyes, these are present both in marine and also salt water and also in the fresh water. Coming to the cartilaginous skeleton, the skeleton of the Chondrichthyes is cartilaginous, that is not made up of bone. But in the case of Osteichthyes, as the word itself osteo means bone, the endoskeleton is made up of bone. In this picture you can differentiate that the bones here, the structure whatever you are seeing here in this picture is also, it is made up of cartilage, that means it is easily meltable or digestible, it can be broken even by pressing. But in the case of bony endoskeleton, the regular fish, if you see, the bones will be there and these bones cannot be smashed or cannot be melted. Okay. And now coming to the third point or next point, exoskeleton is made up of placoid scales or dermal scales. This is a specific character of the Chondrichthyes. And coming to the Osteichthyes, the exoskeleton is made up of rhombic or cycloid scales. And we have branchial apertures. Branchial apertures, the openings for the gills, these branchial apertures are about 5 to 7 in the case of Chondrichthyes and only one branchial aperture is present in the Osteichthyes. And now coming to the other main differences of the Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, the Chondrichthyes possess cloaca. Cloaca is present in this picture, you can find the region, the cloacal region, and here in the Osteichthyes there is no cloaca. And coming to the Chondrichthyes, the claspers, as we have discussed earlier, the males and females are different, means they are separate, they exist in a separate form, and these claspers are present in the males, and these claspers, they help. In this picture you can clearly view the clasper. These claspers help in the process of copulation, and claspers are absent in the male fishes in the case of Osteichthyes. And coming to the anal and urinogenital apertures, these in the case of Chondrichthyes, this anal and urinogenital, that means the opening for this aperture is nothing but the opening for the anal region and the urinogenital region, means urine related and also genital related, means sex related. The opening are common means through the single opening only the secretions will be released. But in the case of Osteichthyes, the anal and urinogenital apparatus are separate, means anal opening is different and urinogenital opening is different. And now coming to the tail region, heterocercal tail. Chondrichthyes is a cartilaginous fish, the heterocercal tail is present, that means the lobes are unequal. In this picture you can clearly view the difference between the heterocercal tail and homocercal tail. See here, these two are the lobes, here this is one smaller lobe is there and the other one is the larger lobe. But in the case of homocercal tail, the two lobes are found to be similar or equal. So, as homo means similar, hetero means different. So, the lobes are different here in the heterocercal tail, and the homocercal tail, the lobes are similar or equal in size. And coming to the spiracle, spiracle is present in the case of chondrichthyes, absent in the case of osteichthyes. And coming to the jaw suspension, similar kind of jaw suspension, that is skull, hylostylic or amphistylic skull is present in both the cases. Coming to the concentration of urea, concentration of urea is high in blood, it helps in exist in the marine environment, and concentration of urea is less in blood in the case of osteichthyes, and air bladder is absent in chondrichthyes. It is the special characters which is present in the osteichthyes. And mouth, in the case of, in this picture itself we can view the mouth is ventral in the position in the case of chondrichthyes, here it is, mouth is existing here, and here it is on the terminal, that is one of the ends of the body. And scroll valve is present in the intestine in the case of chondrichthyes, and it is absent in the case of osteichthyes. Nostrils are usually ventral in the case of chondrichthyes and not ventral in the case of osteichthyes. The distinct pelvic girdles is present in chondrichthyes, internal fertilization occurs, and also ventral aorta gives 5 pairs of different branchial vessels. Pronephrons, kidney is a pronephros, and conus arteriosus is present in the case of, all these are in the case of chondrichthyes. And if we discuss the same things in the osteichthyes, the pelvic girdle is reduced or absent in the case of osteichthyes, and fertilization is always external fertilization. Ventral aorta gives off 4 pairs of different branchial vessels. Kidneys are mesonephros and conus arteriosus is absent. So, this is all about today's class about the fishes, general characters, classification, and also we have discussed about the cartilaginous fishes, bony fishes, their characters and the difference between these two fishes, and also we have learnt about the importance and values of the fishes. Thank you.